Welcome back, lords and ladies, to the beating heart of the Seven Kingdoms, King's Landing. Last time, beneath the shadow of the Iron Throne, 16 warriors clashed in battles worthy of song, and the first blood of the tournament was spilled, steel rang, shields shattered, and 8 champions earned their place in the next round, though the path ahead only grows deadlier. From the towers of Winterfell to the smoking shores of Dragonstone, rumours carry the names of those who advanced, and the whispers grow louder. Who will rise? Who will fall? And who will claim the crown of the greatest warrior in Westeros? But today, a new storm gathers. Schemes, legends, and monsters step forward to face their fate. No politics, no dragons, no mercy, only the cold truth of the sword. 48 began this journey. Their stories continue here. This is the Colossal Tournament at King's Landing. The time for talk is over once more. Let round 1 continue. And now, the first clash of the day brings 2 killers cut from very different cloth. One of honor, one of madness, representing the storied Riverlands. A commander, a man who held Riverrun against impossible odds. A warrior whose name still commands respect across every shore. Brynden, Blackfish Tully. And his challenger, the terror of the islands, Crow's Eye, the pirate who sailed where sane men fear the horizon, returning with whispers of dark powers and blood-soaked victories. Euron Greyjoy, honor against chaos, duty against delirium. A river wolf stands against a storm born of salt and shadow. Brynden Tully versus Euron Greyjoy. Let the fight begin! Euron strikes first, and oh! The Blackfish has drawn blood. Look at these 2 go! Strikes back and forth, axe against blade. Oh, Euron lost his footing. Now the fight is moving up the causeway. The Blackfish knocks Euron back. They're both swinging wildly now. Those people better take a step back. Now Euron's got the Blackfish in the corner. This doesn't look good, folks. But the Blackfish is blocking every strike. This is unbelievable. Gods, it's over. The Blackfish brings his blade across Euron's throat. Even after being backed into a corner, Brynden Tully will be moving on to round 2. And now, a clash of beauty and death. 2 warriors, famed not only for skill, but for style. From the burning sands of Dawn, the Red Viper, fast as rumour, deadly as truth. A man whose duels end before most see the strike that kills them. Oberyn Martell! And his challenger, the Knight of Flowers, champion of tourneys, prodigy of the Reach. The Golden Knight whose skill with a lance and blade made him the pride of Highgarden. Loras Tyrell! Grace against venom, beauty against fury. One dances, one strikes, only one walks away. Oberyn Martell versus Loras Tyrell. Let the fight begin. Oberyn strikes first, and again, but Loras strikes back. This one should be electric, folks. Oberyn knocks Loras off balance. The Knight of Flowers has him backed against the wall, though. Oh, that strike hit armor. That positioning is sure making it hard for the Red Viper. Back and forth they strike as Oberyn backpedals. At least he's got himself free of the wall. Oh, a huge swing from Oberyn. There goes Loras' shield. Now Loras is swinging wildly, but with a purpose. I'm not sure if Oberyn will get himself out of this one. He's got himself backed into the other wall now. Oh, that was a good thrust. And Loras sidesteps before Oberyn can. He sidesteps again. And a huge blow from the Red Viper. This is getting interesting. And now Loras is pushing him up the causeway. Oh, that was only inches away. They're moving their way back down now. Oberyn takes a hit. Now they're moving up the steps. Oh, a big strike from the Red Viper. A big strike from the Red Viper. Now Loras. Oh, a huge. Oh, and that's it. It's over. What an incredible fight. Oberyn Martell got him right where he wanted him. And we'll be moving on to round 2. Our next bout pits prophecy against discipline, a prince of old Valyria and a soldier shaped by war alone. From the house of the dragon, the Silver Prince, whose song softened hearts and whose sword cut down those who mistook gentleness for weakness. Rhaegar Targaryen! And standing against him, commander of the Unsullied, trained from childhood, forged through agony, the spear point of armies and the shield of a queen. Grey Worm, romance against rigor, flame against stone. Can prophecy pierce discipline, or does discipline smother destiny? Rhaegar Targaryen versus Grey Worm. Let the fight begin! Rhaegar strikes with fury again and again. He's got Grey Worm pinned along the wall. He misses. Rhaegar strikes. Oh! Blood has been drawn. Look at them go. Strike after strike. Rhaegar's really on the offensive here. Rhaegar swings hard. He's really keeping Grey Worm. Oh! A huge thrust. Look at Rhaegar's disposition. Just calm and calculated. The Dragon Prince doesn't even look rattled. Grey Worm needs to get out of this. Grey Worm backpedals. Oh, Rhaegar's strike lands. Is this it, folks? Can Grey Worm come back from that? Rhaegar is just swinging. Grey Worm's strike hits shield. Oh, Rhaegar knocks Grey Worm back. He's still swinging. Oh! Grey Worm knocks him off balance. A few back, and oh! Grey Worm stumbles. Grey Worm hits his helm again. He just can't connect. Is that spear even sharp? Rhaegar strikes and Grey Worm strikes back. Oh! Rhaegar knocks Grey Worm back now. Rhaegar with some heavy strikes. Which one will connect? Oh, and he hits Grey Worm hard, and another. Okay, folks, now we have a fight. Oh, a devastating blow, and a near miss. Wow, that was close. Gods, someone move those people. This one is getting out of hand. Rhaegar stumbles. Grey Worm is backed up as far as he can go. There's no way out. They're both looking for the right moment. Oh! The Dragon Prince strikes down the Unsullied commander! That was an ass-kicking if I've ever seen one! With a one-sided victory, Rhaegar Targaryen will be moving on to round 2. And now, a collision of raw, unstoppable power. The kind that shakes kingdoms. From the frozen north, the Wolf of Winterfell, the Lord who ended rebellions with a single decree and ruled through honor sharper than any blade, Cregan Stark. And across the arena, the great Khal himself, a horse-lord giant whose braid has never been cut and whose enemies have never risen again, Khal Drogo. Ice meets fire without dragons, winter meets the open plains. 2 titans, only one path forward. Cregan Stark versus Khal Drogo. Let the fight begin. Cregan swings and misses. Oh! Cregan with a heavy strike. Drogo sidesteps. Oh! That thrust nearly misses. Drogo is on the offensive now. Oh! Cregan with another brutal strike, and another. Cregan Stark is swinging away. away. But the great Khal isn't backing down. This is it, folks. We've got us a clash of titans. Oh, Cregan with another heavy blow. Oh, and he draws blood again. It's almost impossible to defend against a sword like that. But I'll give it to him. Drogo is doing his best at it. Oh, he knocks Drogo back. Drogo is swinging with precision, and Cregan makes contact again. Drogo strikes. Oh, Cregan draws blood again. Back and forth. Oh, the wolf knocks the Khal back. Drogo strikes and Cregan connects again. This is unbelievable. Khal Drogo will not give up. He's even got Cregan backed up to the fence. But it doesn't matter. Cregan cuts down the great Khal Drogo with a decisive victory. Cregan Stark will be moving on to round 2. The next duel pulls us into the shadows, where truth is a weapon and survival is a creed. From the depths of history, the man with 1,000 eyes and one, a marksman, a mystic, and a master of secrets sharp enough to cut, Brynden Bloodraven Rivers. And challenging him, the silent blade of the Watch, a man who taught the wilds to fear him and made the ultimate sacrifice for the realm, Qhorin Halfhand. Guile against grit, shadow against snow. Who prevails when the cold meets the dark? Bloodraven versus Qhorin Halfhand. Let the fight begin. Bloodraven strikes, but Qhorin strikes back. And again. Here we go, folks. These two both know the stakes, and neither is willing to give an inch. I think we're in for a good one, folks. Oh, Bloodraven draws blood. And again. Gods. This one isn't going to last long at this rate. I can't believe he's still up. The Halfhand is on the offensive now. This is his chance. Can he get it done? Qhorin strikes. Bloodraven having Dark Sister might be the difference maker here. Oh, a single thrust to the neck, and Qhorin Halfhand is on the ground. The bastard of House Blackfire made that one look easy. Bloodraven will be moving on to round 2. Our next duel pits Bright Steel against Star-Forged Fury. Two blades whose names echo across the 7 kingdoms. First, the gallant knight of Highgarden. Humble, deadly, calm as still water until the fighting begins. Garlan Tyrell. And opposite him, the man who boasts he's of the night and the most dangerous outlaw in Dawn. Gerold Darkstar Dayne. Honor against infamy, control against chaos. Who holds the advantage when skill meets savagery? Garlan Tyrell versus Gerold Dayne. Let the fight begin! Dayne strikes first, but Garlan thrusts back. This one could get interesting, folks. Dayne moves and makes contact. Dayne's got him backed up now. Can Garlan get himself out? Oh, a huge strike shatters Garlan's shield. Garlan Tyrell is swinging some ferocious strikes. And he connects. Oh, Gerold knocks him back. Gerold Dayne is swinging with precision. We are watching some masterful swordplay here, folks. Dayne connects again. But Garlan strikes back, and again. Here we go. Garlan is swinging wildly. Dayne hits armor. Again! There you have it, folks. We've got ourselves a fight. Strike after strike. Nothing is putting either man down. I do sense some hesitation, though, folks. That won't help either of them. Dayne knocks Garlan back. Garlan draws blood, and again. But Dayne isn't backing down. I just don't know if Gerold can compete here, folks. Garlan is giving it everything he's got. But Dayne is striking back. Oh, is this it? Is this Dayne's moment? Garlan's got Darkstar backed up to the wall and isn't giving an inch. A miss, and he strikes. Oh, huge strike from Garlan. Dayne thrusts. Oh, across the throat. It's over. Dayne crumbles. Garlan Tyrell fought like a man possessed and will be moving on to round 2. And now, a clash torn straight from the heart of history. A tyrant born of chaos against the king who forged a world. The last from the Blackfire line. The man with 2 faces, 2 natures, and a single purpose: to crush anything in his path. Maelys the Monstrous! And his challenger, the Dragonlord, who reshaped Westeros with fire and will. The first king of the Targaryen dynasty, Aegon Targaryen, the Conqueror. Mutiny against monarchy, madness against destiny. This is a dual history itself. Could never imagine. Maelys the Monstrous versus Aegon Targaryen. Let the fight begin. Aegon strikes first, but Maelys isn't even phased. I guess they don't call him the Monstrous for no reason. Maelys strikes over and over. He'd love nothing more than to cut the Conqueror down. Aegon is on the offensive now. Look at how calculated they are, folks. Aegon's got Maelys backed up to the wall. But Maelys looks as calm as he can be. But that's not saying much. Oh, Aegon connected with that one. But Maelys is swinging with a crazed fury. Aegon isn't giving him a chance to breathe. Back and forth they... Oh, Aegon draws blood. This doesn't look good, folks. Oh, it's over. Aegon planted Blackfire into the last of that line. Aegon the Conqueror puts down Maelys the Monstrous and will be moving on to round 2. Our final clash of the day brings 2 masters of the blade, one silent, one singing. From Sunspear, the immovable guardian of House Martell, whose watch never falters, whose strength never wavers. Areo Hotah! And stepping against him, the first sword of Braavos, the man who made death wait and taught a stark girl to stand tall, Syrio Forel. Stillness against speed, discipline against dance. A storm of steel meets a single, unstoppable swing. Areo Hotah versus Syrio Forel. Let the fight begin.
See you in hell.
Areo strikes first, but Syrio hits right back. The first sword of Braavos. Oh! Areo draws blood first. Syrio is swinging wildly, which is unlike him. Areo must have him rattled. Areo knocks him back. Wow, is he strong? But Syrio is moving him back now. Oh! Areo draws blood once more. This doesn't look good for Syrio, folks. Those swings are ferocious. Can he hang on? Wow! What a thrust from Areo! Syrio isn't giving up, though! The first sword of Braavos is proving his name! Oh! Syrio shatters Areo's shield! Is this his? Oh! Areo cuts him down! It's over! The first sword of Braavos falls, and Areo Hotah will be moving on to round 2. And just like that, the second day of the Colossal Tournament of King's Landing comes to a roaring end. 8 more battles, 8 more warriors stepping forward into round 2. Let's look back at the chaos, the glory, and the legends carved into the dust of this arena. Brynden Tully opened the day with a comeback for the ages, trapped against the fence, drowning beneath Euron Greyjoy's onslaught. Oberyn Martell danced with death itself on the arena stairs, slipping past Loras Tyrell's steel and claiming victory with a viper's bite. Rhaegar Targaryen reminded the realm why he was once its greatest hope. Overwhelming Grey Worm! Cregan Stark delivered a decisive victory over Khal Drogo, proving that even a great Khal can be humbled when winter bares its fangs. But the storm didn't stop there. Bloodraven dispatched Qhorin Halfhand with such ease that even the shadows seemed to bow to him. Garlan Tyrell fought like a man consumed, out-dueling Gerold Darkstar Dayne in a whirlwind of precision and fury. Aegon the Conqueror stepped onto the sands and ended Maelys the Monstrous in a savage, blistering fight that left the crowd speechless. And to close the day, Areo Hotah has stood unshaken, weathering Syrio Forel's dancing steel before cutting down the first sword of Braavos. 16 warriors now stand ready for round 2. 16 champions shaped by blood will and sheer refusal to fall. And the path to the crown grows narrower and deadlier with every step. Next time, round 2 will force the final 32 into some of the greatest potential matchups in history. More kings, more killers, more living legends stepping into the light. The greatest tournament in the history of Westeros marches on. This is the Colossal Tournament of King's Landing.